All right. I realized that the end of the previous class was not recorded. So let's here. This is what everybody missed. A second. I'm in a different room today. Okay, so there comes a fire down from God. So it comes out. Korach and all of his friends, they lose big time. Korach and his whole family and his immediate followers, they get swallowed up in the ground. And you can hear them yelling out from under the ground, Moses is true and the Torah is true and we're wrong. Then the 250 heads of the Sanhedrin, of the big justices, judges, that also joined in. So Moses told them all to bring fire pans, like some sort of like frying pans or something without a handle, and to put on it coals, and to put on top of the coals incense. And Aaron will do the same thing. Let's see what happens. So fire comes down from heaven and devours them all. Devours all of the 250 men. So God says to Aaron, take the pans, the fire pans, and gather them up and make a covering, coating, a copper covering for the altar, which that'll be a remembrance to the Jewish people that no one is going to mess with the Kohanim again. Okay, then next. All the Jewish people complain against Moses. They all complain, and they say, Moses, you killed innocent people. What did you tell them to take incense for? You knew that they would get killed because of this incense. You knew that, that's what none of an Avihu did. Earlier, they took strange fire, brought it into the Holy of Holies, and they died. So you knew it was a trick. You tricked them to tell them to take this incense. You killed them all. So God says, all of a sudden God appears and he says, like this, hey, remove yourself from all these Jewish people, and I'll destroy them all in 1 second. What does it mean in 1 second? I already declared on all these people that they're going to die. Right? This whole thing with Korach happened right after the spies, after the scouts came back, and the Jewish people said that we're not going to enter the land of Israel. So God declared on the Jewish people that they're going to wander around in the desert for 40 years, and everybody above 20 years old would die. They're going to wander around in the desert for 40 years, right? Until everyone above the age of 20, they'd all die. When they reached the age of 60, they died. So everybody said they're not. So now God said, listen, it's worse than I thought. Forget about this thing, they're going to die gradually. I'll kill them all instantly. Instantly. And Moshe said to Aaron, hurry up. What happened? A plague started, a megefah. A negif, there was a negif. People started getting sick and dying. So Moses said to Aaron, hurry up. Take your fire pan again, your frying pan, the pan that they put the incense on, put in coals, and take coals out from the altar, the inner altar, and put incense, and hurry, go in the congregation, because the plague is sweeping through in an orderly, flat fashion. It was from one end to the other. Hurry and run between the people that are dead and the people that are still alive. Because because anger is coming from God, the plague has begun. Why should he take incense? It says, when Moses was on Mount Sinai, the angel of death gave him secrets. And it said, this is Rashi, Katoret, that incense stops plagues, death. Like it says in Masechah Shabbos. He explains over here, what does it mean? When God gives permission to the destroying angel, like it was in going out of Egypt, that there was the angel of death that went over and killed the firstborn, but also anyone who went into the streets, also the angel of death could kill. So it says when the angel of destruction could kill. So whenever there was such an angel of destruction, that could be stopped by the incense. But if God made a decree on someone, the incense didn't help. So everyone was saying that this incense kills people. So Moses says, now I'm going to show everyone how wrong they are, that it stops the death. Aaron did what Moses said immediately, and he ran until the congregation, and the plague began in the people, and he put this incense on the Chaper Alam, and he got forgiveness for the Jewish people. Vayamod made a mason, he stood between the dead and between the alive, and the Megefa and the plague stopped. It says that Rashi says he grabbed a hold of the angel of death and he said, stop. The angel of death said, hey, leave me alone. I'm doing what God told me to do. Aaron said, Moshe, Omerlo, Aaron said back to him, Moshe tzivani lakev al yadecha. Moses told me to stop you. Omerlo, he said, Ani shlucha shel makom. I am an emissary of God. Makom means God. I am an emissary of God. And you're only an emissary of Moses. So, let me go. Who are you to stop me? Omerlo, Aaron said back to him, Ein Moshe Omer klum milibo. Moses never says anything on his own, Elam pia gevura, but only from God. And if you don't believe, there's God, and here's Moses standing at the entrance. Moses in the cloud, right where God was. They're standing at the entrance of the tabernacle. Let's go, come with me and ask. And that's what it says, Vayashav Aaron and Moshe. That's what you see it's going to be. It says, Vayashav Aaron Moshe, that Aaron returned to Moses. What does it mean returned to the Moses? He returned with the angel of death to Moses, to the entrance. Then Amagefa Netzara. That's when the plague stopped. That's what Rashi says. Here it says, there's the Sforno, he says a little different. He says that Aaron stood between the living and the dead, and the Megefa stopped. What does it mean it stopped? It stopped means that nobody additionally became sick. No one additionally became sick. Shalom chala od. No more people became ill. And then it says afterwards the same thing. B'magefa ne'atzara, says the Megefa stopped. The Sforno says, Rabbi Vadia of Sforno, he says, those people who were sick and they didn't die yet, they got healed. Okay, God said to Moses, we're not finished. We're not finished. So here we have three proofs that Korach was wrong. And it still didn't convince the Jewish people. One was that he fell into the hole that suddenly miraculously appeared in the ground. Number one. Oh. All right, so we already had the Korach fell into the pit. And then after that, that's not enough. Then the 250 men, they got devoured by fire. That's not enough. Then the Jewish people started complaining, and there was a big plague. And the plague was and Aaron stopped the plague with the incense. So now we see that everybody sees that Aaron is a good guy and that the incense is good and it saves people. And it's that, you think that solved the problem? No. God said to Moses like this, speak to the Jewish people. Each tribe should take one staff, lebeit av, 8 kol nesietam, lebeit avotam. Each tribe, according to the fathers, they should take 12 staffs. Each al shemo et shemo tichtov al mateo. Each one writes the name of his tribe on the on his staff. Now the fact is there were really 13 tribes. How were there 13 tribes? Because the tribe of Joseph got divided into Ephraim and Manasseh. And here, God says, take 12 sticks, 12 tribes, 12. And then it says, and also the name of Aaron you should write on the Mata of Levi. So the Ramban explains that they took 12 tribes, and Ephraim and Benjamin, Ephraim and Manasseh were not divided. They were all on one staff that was called Yosef. And Aaron's staff, he wrote on it Levi, and he also is going to write on it Aaron. You're going to see. Tiftol Machat Levi, and the name Aaron you should write on the staff that was already written Levi. Okay, there's different opinions. Some people say he did write Levi, some people didn't like it. In any case, we'll find out because this staff of Aaron's, this is in the ark that's hidden in the holy temple, way down underneath, because the ark was always there. It's hidden way down underneath. And in the end of the first temple, the ark was hidden. And it was hidden down there with the broken tablets also, and with the staff of Aaron. And also there was a bottle of the manna. Manna was also there. Okay. So now what's going to happen now? Says, okay, everyone is a representative of his tribe, 12 tribes. Levi is one of them, and bring them to the Ohel Moed, bring them to the tabernacle. Lifnei ha'edut, asher ivoy lecha shama. Put them in front of the tabernacle, outside, put them in there. And the person that I choose, his staff will grow. And I will eliminate from me all these complaints of the Jewish people that they're complaining on you and Moses. What's going on? What do you have to do that for? It says, the OrHaChaim HaKadosh. It wasn't enough. Lo speak, Kol Masha Asa Hashem B'Korach. It wasn't enough what God did to Korach up to now, falling in a pit and the fire coming down and the big plague. Because people thought that everything that happened to Korach, this is because Korach personally spoke against Moshe. And it divided. And therefore, God is taking a revenge on the honor of Moses. And Moses was the faithful prophet. And so God was taking revenge on him. But maybe now, Korach and all those people, they're the bad guys. But maybe we are good guys. Maybe God will say, maybe there's other tribes that can serve God. Therefore, God said, now I'm going to show you. Now, before, we talked this about before. There was a time in Israel before the temple was built, and there were other periods also that it was permissible for everyone to make sacrifices in his backyard. You could make free will offerings. So essentially everyone had sort of the right to be a Kohen, to be they were at one time they were. As soon as the temple was built, then for sure nobody could offer up offerings outside. But they're still before. They're before the temple is built, right? We're still in the time of the tabernacle. They're wandering around in the desert. And it's permissible in these days when they're wandering around in the desert that people can make sacrifices in their own house, wherever they want. So they thought maybe, we can serve in the tabernacle. Maybe we can be in the tabernacle as well. Actually, I don't know if that's right. I think after the tabernacle was built, for that short time, okay, in any case, there was a time when everyone could offer in the backyard. So they said, listen, maybe, God has vented his anger on whoever he has to, and now we'll make a new start, and, everybody can be a Kohen. Everybody can go on. So Moses said to the Jewish people, and he said, Vayitnu elav kol nesiyayim mata. Each tribe should give the leader of that tribe, according to the house of their fathers, 12 staves, and the staff of Aaron would be among them. Here it says that, what was the sign? It says that the staff, whoever God said, whoever I choose, that person's staff is going to grow. Why is that sort of a sign? Why not make fire come down from heaven, or God just announced, right? It says, no, this thing, it says, we can see several places where the word Yifrach tzaddik. And it says that a tzaddik is connected to the thing of growing. This is a tzaddik tamar Yifrach. It says a tzaddik is like a date tree that grows up, flowers, that grows up, blossoms. That since his staff will grow blossoms, so we see that he's the one that won. He was the one that came out victorious in the judgment. That's a sign of success. There's other places where it says that what's going on over here. Oh, he says, oh, I'm sorry. Also, it says, Yifrach bayom of tzaddik, that's said on the Melech HaMashiach, that in his days, the kahuna will come back and it'll blossom again in the third temple, that Aaron. That's what it's hinting at, that Aaron's staff will blossom no matter what. Even if temporarily there's no temple like there's now for the last 2,000 years, but there will be, and it will always, in the end, it will blossom. Yeah. So Moses said, everybody take your staff and put it down. And the next day, everybody came to Ohel Moed. And so, I'm sorry, everybody put their staffs in front of the tabernacle. They put it in front of the tabernacle, and they came the next day. And sure enough, there it was, Moses, the staff of Aaron grew up. What did it grow up? It grew up flowers. It says not exactly flowers, it grew up almonds. It says, well, the fact of the matter is it wasn't exactly that way. It grew up all three. It grew up buds. Vayitzet perach, there were flowers. Vayitzet sitz, there came out buds. Vayigmol shkedim, and there came almonds. Okay, now almonds, it says, even though it doesn't say over here, almonds are the fastest fruit to grow. It takes, 31 days for it to grow. From the time there's a fruit until it grows up, it grows up, it takes just a few days to grow. So it's the fastest of all to grow. So Rashi says it grows up so quickly because it shows that anyone who disagrees with Aaron gets immediately punished. In Chabad, it says, he brings from other places, and I have to look and see where it is, but it says, no, exactly the opposite. What is the idea of the Kohen? What do the Kohanim do? The Kohanim, they bring blessings from God. So what does that mean? Everybody gives blessing. Anyone can bless anybody else. There's nothing forbidden for me to go up to somebody and say, God bless you. God should give you a lot of good news. It's a good thing to bless other people. Right? I remember one day the Rebbe said that everyone should bless everybody else. With the blessings of the Kohanim, you should go outside and bless everybody else. It's a good thing. Yivrecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. Everyone should bless everybody else. So he says, no, the thing of Aaron is he's also a Jew. He also can bless everybody. It says, hey, bracha, every Jew is going to give blessings. But Aaron's blessings come fast. He quickens the blessings. What is a blessing? A blessing is that there's something good waiting for a person, but it doesn't come down for whatever reason there is. As the thing of Aaron is that he hurries up the blessing. And that's the thing of the almonds. The almonds. Anyone can bless. But the thing of Aaron is that his blessings come down quickly. Quickly. It says Shkedim. Shkedim is the gematria of, the same gematria of Chashmonaim. Huh? You remember the Chashmonaim, because the Chashmonaim, remember the miracle of Chanukah, they were all Kohanim, they were priests, they were all Kohanim. They were the ones, they were fighters, and nevertheless they won this battle against tens of thousands of Greeks. So that shows it gave them the power also to win. And it said, here the Kli Yakar says what I said. It shows on Zrizus on quickly. And so Rashi says also that the punishment will come quickly. But he says that no, it means that the blessings will also come quickly. That's the thing of Aaron. The Yitzhak Moses brought all of the staves out. Where did he put all these staves? These staves were put into what's called the holy, the place where the menorah was. So he brought all these things. He took them out from the tabernacle, and everyone saw, and everyone took his staff. And God said to Moses, return the staff of Aaron in front of in the Holy of Holies. And this should be a sign for the rebellious Jews so that they'll stop complaining and they won't die. They'll always be there to remind the Jews. And Moses did like God said, and whatever God commanded, so he did. Then the Jewish people came to Moses and they complained again. They say, Gavarnu avadnu, kolanu avadnu. It says, we're all lost. Kol hakarev mishkan Hashem yamus, heim tamnu geboah. Every time anybody says anything bad, they're all going to die. We can't be careful. Right? What's going to be? Anyone that goes into the tabernacle is going to come too close as what's going to be? We're all going to die. So God says, okay, Vayomer Hashem al Aaron, God says to Aaron and his sons, you have now the job of keeping everybody away. You have the job of protecting and making order in the tabernacle so that no strangers will go in. And if they do, then you get punished. You get punished. Okay. It says, I have taken the Levites among the Jews, and they get gifts. Right? They get gifts. And now we're going to go into this thing of what gifts the Kohanim get. What gifts do the Kohanim receive? It says, Vayidaber Hashem, Moshe said, behold, I am giving to you my gifts, trumoti, for all the holy things that the Jewish people are giving you, that you should have them forever. And this is going to begin, let's see Rashi over here, the 24 gifts that Moses receives, especially that the Kohanim and Aaron receives, says here. Also, because Korach came and he complained against Aaron, so the Torah comes and tells him about the 24, Kaf Daled Matanot Kahuna, the 24 gifts of the Kahuna, the Brit Melech Olam, and an eternal covenant of salt. Just like salt never rots and never dissolves, also the Kohanim never stop. And this is a permanent gift that they get for all time. Therefore, this is the Mishmeret Trumati. These, God says, I'm giving, these are all the gifts that you're going to get. Okay, so in this one sentence, there's like 8 or 9 gifts hinted here, and I want to go through what they are in a second. Maybe we'll have time. All of the bread offerings, all of the sin offerings, all of the different types of offerings called asham, a different type of a sin. Usually these are purposeful sins, very rare. Very few types of person who swears intentionally and lies and swears, let's say something an asham and things like that. It's called an asham. They bring Kodesh Kodashim are for me and for my children. So let me go through the 24 gifts that the Kohanim receive, and I hope that you can see this. Here we go. Can you see this? I don't know. 1 second. 1 minute. Okay, here they are. Here are the 24 gifts that the Kohanim get. There's 10 of them which are only in the Holy Temple. There are 4 of them which are only in Jerusalem. And then there's 10 more that are even outside of Jerusalem. And what are they? So let me just go through a quick list of what they are over here. I hope you can see this. We'll see afterwards. Oh. Okay, in any case, I can see it. I hope that you can also. I think you can. Number 1, the Kohanim are given the privilege of eating the meat from the chatat, sin offering. Now, there are some offerings like the ola that are burned up totally, but the ones that are not, chatat, they're also eaten. And here's some explanations of what the sacrifices are, but and there's a part of it which is eaten by the Kohanim as well. There are 3 types of eating. The sacrifice is eaten by the altar, it's burned up. Some of the sacrifices are eaten by the Kohanim as well, parts of it. And some of them, especially the Shlomim piece, they're eaten by all 3. Parts are burned on the altar, parts are eaten by the Kohen, and parts are eaten by the owners. Okay, so let's go quickly through these 24. Number 1, the meat from the chatat offering, meat from the asham offering. Like I said, the asham offering, these are very singular and unique, different types of sins. There's the meat from the shlomim offering. Those are eaten by everybody. And what's left over from the omer? In the omer, they bring barley offering on the first day after Passover, and they burn up just 1 handful, and the rest is eaten by the Kohanim. This begins the counting of the omer. What's left over with the mincha offering? Mincha offering, people brought bread offerings, and they would only burn a small amount. The rest would go to the Kohanim. There was the 2 breads, the 2 breads which are brought on Shavuot. On Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot, there were brought 2 loaves of chametz bread, leavened bread. The lechem apanim, remember the face bread? There's 12 loaves of face bread that's on it, so they would eat that every single right. It was a positive commandment to eat it. They would change it every Shabbos, and they would change it every Erev Shabbos, and they would eat these breads on Shabbos. There's some people even to this day that bring 12 loaves to the table. I've never seen it done. They see some Kabbalists. Okay, they also get the vial, the bottle of oil. 1 log, it says 1 log, certain, what is it? Like a bottle's worth of oil from the Mitzorah, the sin offering, the bird sin offering, and the Asham Taloi. Asham Taloi was a sacrifice that came when a person had a doubt if he had done a sin or not. And for some reason, he did not include this in the Korban Asham. Okay, then there's 4 more. He gets the firstborn of the animals are brought to him, the first fruits. These all are only from the temple, in the temple. These are anywhere in Jerusalem. He gets to eat also the first fruits from the 7 types, right? From from grapes and pomegranates and figs and dates and wheat and barley. And he gets to keep the skins of the offerings, right? The skins of the offerings are not burned. They're given to the Kohanim as well. He also gets what's left over from the Nazir offering. Nazir is a person that he takes a vow. Remember, we learned that in Parsha Shlach. A person that takes a Parsha Nasai, I'm sorry. A person takes a vow not to eat wine or anything like wine and not to defile himself for dead people. And when he finishes, if he takes a vow for a short amount of time, a limited amount of time, that when he finishes his vow, so he brings a sacrifice, and this sacrifice is eaten by the Kohanim. Okay, we got now 14. Here's 10 more gifts that are given to the Kohanim that are everywhere, not only in Jerusalem. The Truma, that's like 1/100th of the fruit. Trumas Meiser, 1 portion of the tithe that's given to the Levites. They get challah, 1 portion of every bread that's baked, if it's a certain size. You can take 1 little portion for 1,000 loaves of bread also. The first shearings of a sheep. If a person sanctifies his field to the holy temple, then they get a part of it. They get it. Right? A person that sanctifies his field to the holy temple, and he had a right to redeem it, to take it back, but he didn't, so it goes to the Kohanim. From every animal that's sacrificed to eat, not holy foods, the Kohen officially gets the Zeroah, L'chayim, L'chayayim, and the Keva. He gets a portion of the leg, of the jaw, and of the stomach. Every Kohen gets it. That's the law. What do they do today? I don't know, I guess because they don't know where the Kohen is. Actually, I have to look that up. Pidyon Ben. It's a person, a firstborn child, when he's 30 days old, the father has to redeem him. He gives 5 coins to the Kohen. Here's a picture. We have a picture. You saw a picture. Okay, there we go. There he gives the coin. There's a child who's 30 days old. Can you tell? Here is the firstborn of a donkey. A donkey. Not a mule. A donkey. Charami Kohen, anyone who says, I dedicate my car to the Holy Temple, I give my car, they go to the Kohen as well. And Gezel Hager, if someone steals money from a convert and the convert dies, so there's no one to give the money back to. He hasn't got a family, so this money goes to the Kohen. That's the 24 gifts that the Kohen get, and that is all described in this week's Torah portion. God willing, tomorrow we'll learn the Haftorah. Let's now learn some Pirkei Avot. Let's stop here. Take a little break. Learn some Pirkei Avot.